you passed out, so I put peanut butter in your face, and then I let you sniff my shoe.
Who are you guys?
Oh, well, that's Kel and I'm Kenan. You know, Eric's cousin.
Who's Eric?
You know Eric, your boyfriend.
I don't know anyone named Eric.
Kel. She doesn't remember anything, man. I think she's got amnesia. Amnesia! Oh, no, not amnesia. What's amnesia? Amnesia means that she lost her memory, probably because you hit her over the head with the suitcase. Hey, wait a minute. I saw this on TV once. All we have to do is hit her over the head again, and she'll get her memory back. Kev, this isn't TV, man. I don't think that you can... No. Kev! Stop hitting the girl over the head with...
Down. If you're listening to this, then you would pronounce my name, Aaron.
And if you're spelling this, you would spell my name, Adam.
Yeah, I think the concept of us doing the same intro as Kenan and Kel is great, but it really just doesn't have the same effect as our stars.
Yeah, we do not have a screaming audience in the Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron studio.
We definitely could make that happen.
I can get at least one person, maybe.
No, I mean, there's definitely some effects out there, some screaming audience effects. I'm sure we could strip the audio from one of these Kenan and Kel intros and just, I mean, you strip the audio from other parts of the episode.
I'll just have a valve and I'll turn it on for laughter. And I'll just play, like, you know, a loop of it.
Yeah, definitely play it live, not post-production. That would be too yeah, that'd be too easy.
Welcome to Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. We're a podcast that goes over every episode of Kenan and Kel that has ever been made.
Every episode of Kenan and Kel, the show, our favorite 90s Nickelodeon sitcom, but soon to be, when this season is over, we're on season 4 right now, soon to be everything that Kenan and Kel have ever done.
Yeah, there are many things if you didn't know.
They are prolific. They were prolific in the 90s, and who knows. But anyways, this week we are reviewing Season 4, Episode 3, Girl Watchers.
There's a hyphen in there, as you can tell by the name of this episode, which is weird. I don't know if they needed a hyphen.
I think they probably could have thought a little bit more about a name for this episode.
I think they're kind of going for like in the same way that we had House Sitter last time, it's Girl Watcher, like we're watching over this girl.
Well, it was definitely House Sitter vibes this episode.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, chaos after chaos.
And it all escalated, too, in a real good way. I think, like, if this episode came out in season 1, I'd be like, oh, it's just like Most Winter Blues. It's like one of the best ones of the season.
It was fun. Like, so far, you know, I know we haven't reviewed the episode yet, but so far... we've had 3 episodes of season 4, and they've all been very good.
I can't stress it enough that this is a great season, and the haters, I don't know, I still don't believe them.
Well, Adam, you were just saying that it's almost like people who say that season 4 of SpongeBob is bad.
Yes.
Because they liked the original 3. That's kind of what season 4 of Kenan and Kel is. And so if you're one of those people who's like doesn't really remember older Kenan and Kel, you got to give it a shot, because these episodes, I mean, what I like about them a lot is that they don't just follow the Kenan and Kel format. They know the characters so well that they can kind of like dance a little bit in the format. They can do a little jazz, and it just works so well.
They can absolutely play with what we expect Kenan and Kel to do in situations like last time,
right?
With Kel's like answers to the trivia.
It's almost like we have these characters, and then we're just running with them because Kenan and Kel know how to play them so well. And well, enough talk about the meta. Let's get into the specifics.
Let's sit on the big orange couch with Coolio and talk Girl Watchers.
It just doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Well, first thing I want to point out is that I can see Kel's BMX shirt that you were super crazy about last episode.
That's the same one. Yeah, it's the same shirt. It's just got these. It's a crew neck sweatshirt. It's got these black sleeves and like this, literally like just a picture of a BMX bike in the desert with mountains.
Yeah, but it's also like super faded too. Like this looks like an old T-shirt.
I would wear that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if we can get a blown up thing sold at Rockmore and Kimball, our T-shirt shop.
Oh yeah, we haven't plugged that in a while. Yeah, if you want any Kenan and Kel merchandise, hop over to Rockmore and Kimball on T Public.
We sell pretty much exclusively shirts that were featured on the show.
Just the weirdest shop. We got any sales, Adam? We got some sales?
I will not discuss the business stuff. But more than just I have purchased T-shirts at the Rockmore and Campbell. I'll tell you that much.
Keenan's wearing his denim jacket, denim pants, also known as blue jeans.
I think this is a historically short opening intro.
Absolutely. Well, this episode is packed.
Yeah, they had to trim as much as they could.
There's 3 different sets in this episode? Well, I mean, many different sets, but there's 2 new sets.
Yeah, the cool thing is that it's all new sets too. Yeah. Like, we don't rely super heavily on like Kenan's house or Rigby's. We don't see Rigby's in this episode.
Yeah, so I honestly, have we seen it in season 4 yet? Did we see it in episode 1?
So corporate Kenan, yes. We saw the back room of Rigby's.
There hasn't really been a Rigby's, which makes me kind of say they changed the format up a little bit. Right? They're kind of, with their budget and their characters, were like, let's just make these episodes super heavy in Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
And because of it, we see characters like Chris in new and exciting places.
Yeah, he's like a cameo. He's got a cameo role now.
Kenan and Kel have a little back and forth about how Kel can't remember what this episode's about, and Kenan's like, did you lose your memory? And he's like, where'd I put it?
He starts looking for his memory. It's like, that isn't how it works, Kel.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry, enough people will be losing their memory this episode.
Yeah, I think he says losing their minds, which I thought was like
that's
okay.
a good play on the
all right,
phrase.
Let's see how this goes. And then Kel says, Kenan, wait, how do I know your name is Kenan? Oh, here it goes. So really like a minute, less than a minute, we're out of here.
And we're right into the thick of things. For the second and only time, we see Eric's apartment. Kenan's cousin from college.
Same apartment as last time, probably. I mean, they might have changed a few things around. But
it looks like a college apartment.
Yeah, college apartment. Posters everywhere, crooked pictures that they got at a yard sale. But there's definitely a noticeable mini basketball hoop on Eric's front door.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Kenan play basketball since like if you count the episode Foul Bowl, sure, but like parental guidance. Like, it's been a little bit since we've seen him dribbling around and doing some moves.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do here. So he's Eric's. Well, he's posted up. Eric's kind of defending, and Kenan's like, back is to the basket. He goes, go left, gonna go right, gonna go left, gonna go right, and then he kind of just keeps doing that. He can't really make a decision. And then eventually he sneaks by. He goes up for the dunk, and then he gets hit in the face by the door that opens. And
it's Kel.
Surprise, surprise.
No. Girl watchers.
Girl watcher number 1. Kel.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Kel would be number 2.
He's easily number 2.
Yeah. There's a lot that doesn't fit in this episode, if you know what I'm saying.
No, it does not, does it?
This episode was written by somebody not native to Chicago, but...
This episode was written by Steve Holland, not Savage Steve Holland, Steve Holland.
I really think they're the same person, even though they're not.
They have different links on Wikipedia, so I believe that source. And this Steve Holland did work on like all of that, and I think he's the one credited with writing the Kenan and Kel books.
Well, we'll have to get him on the show and ask him.
Yeah, are you the right? First question? Or do we have the right guy?
I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. Okay, so yeah, Kel hits Kenan in the face. Kel basically says he's hungry, and then Eric goes, "We got some frozen pizzas in the fridge. Help yourself, like you always do."
Yeah, classic college kid grub.
Yep. So Kel takes the frozen pizza out of the freezer, takes it out of the box. It's like very small, and he tries to bite it. And he goes, "Ow!"
This is a terrible pizza.
Yeah.
Kenan tells him that you got to put it in the microwave first.
So Kel puts it in the microwave with the door open, looks at it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, he patiently crosses his hands.
And then grabs it, takes a bite. It didn't work.
Yeah, which is silly. I've seen Kel use a microwave before.
What is it? Comically missing the point?
Yes.
I think it's a pretty good taste of what Kel's going to offer this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's classic Kel right there. doesn't know how to use a microwave.
Comically missing the point is really the theme of this one for Kel's sense of humor. Because I got a lot of Ed vibes from him, too. Like, oftentimes, the way that he'll say some things and re-say things, feels like Ed from Good Burger.
I got a lot of, our antagonist later in this episode. I got a lot of, what's the macho, what is it called?
Kurt from Mondo Burger?
Mondo Burger, yeah, Kurt. I got a lot of Kurt vibes from our friend later in this episode.
Yeah, he looks like Kurt on steroids.
A little bit, yeah. So I did get some Budgerger vibes from this episode. Or what happens next here, Adam?
The phone rings. Kel answers, and someone's calling for someone named Honey Bunny. To which Kel just very politely says, "They don't live here. Stop calling." They lose this number, and he hangs up. And Eric's like, no, wait, that was probably my girlfriend.
Eric's just like surprised that Kel is so oblivious to normal human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're at somebody else's house, the phone rings. Oh, I'm just going to answer it and pretend like it's my phone.
Yeah, he immediately has taken over his apartment.
This is definitely not related to the episode. I'll try to make it quick. But imagine if Kel, and Kenan for that matter, grew up today with cell phones and like social media. It wouldn't be as funny.
I think they got fewer things to work with. There's a lot of jokes that wouldn't have worked in this this episode itself is all about how they get into trouble because they don't have any photos handy. They don't have like a FaceTime or someone else's number or a cell phone.
Yep.
They also don't have the means to pick up someone from an airport. I want to point that out. They don't have any vehicle between them or anything like that.
We gotta set the plot up first. I know I was getting ahead of myself, but
okay.
Basically what happens is Eric's girlfriend Melissa calls, wants to hang out tomorrow night because she's gonna fly in, not just wants to hang out. Eric is super excited to see his honey bunny, or honey bun, cinnamon twirl bun.
Yeah, he can't wait to see his Aunt Annie.
He can't wait to see his pretzel cinnamon twirl.
He reveals that she's flying in from New York, which makes me think, oh, that's probably where Eric's from, right?
Probably.
They're probably like high
Makes
school
sense.
sweethearts or something like that. Why else would his girlfriend be somewhere very far away? Unless, like, maybe Eric went to school in Chicago and she went somewhere else.
Something like that.
I just think it's weird that we haven't met Eric until right now.
Okay, so Eric is probably local to Chicago because he's Kenan's
Then where was he at Thanksgiving?
Somewhere better. I mean, think about the Thanksgiving episode. There were so many old people there. Like, just people you wouldn't want to interact with on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no one wants to hang out with Aunt Gertie.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably went somewhere else. Okay, so while Eric's talking on the phone and making this plan with Melissa, Kenan and Kel are behind him, like, mocking him.
Like, making little kissy faces and noises and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is very, very mean. This is, like, hey, gang, there's nothing wrong with admitting your feelings to your significant
Adam,
other.
Come on, in the late 90s?
So, we should bully him,
yes,
clearly.
Yes.
I think Kenan and Kel are jealous. That's the real situation here.
Oh, absolutely. That they're deflecting. And
last episode, they were jealous of Eric's place. Now they're jealous of his girlfriend.
Absolutely, yeah. They cannot secure a girlfriend to save their life because they spend every waking hour together. Anyways, so Eric is about to say "I love you," but then he notices them behind him, so he goes, "I love you," and he coughs, and then they of course make fun of him for that, which is don't be ashamed to say those words. but I like placing ourselves in the time and space.
Yeah, that's fair. So she's flying in from New York tomorrow, to which Kel says, "Tomorrow? That's like a couple days away."
That's an Ed line, if I've ever heard an Ed line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Eric says his other typical line, "Oh man, this place is a mess. We gotta clean this up."
Yeah, so they start grabbing, tidying up. Kenan's like, "Oh, we'll help you." So Kel just grabs the TV, like the small box TV, and what else does he grab? He grabs like
a mask off the wall,
Mardi Gras mask on the wall. And he carries him across the apartment and throws him in the hallway. Probably breaking the TV.
Yeah, actually, it's a box TV from the 90s. That thing doesn't break.
Yeah, Something definitely broke off of it, but but you're right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It probably still works. And then he goes over and grabs the island chairs, which are easily like $30 a piece. Those are nice chairs.
Yeah, they're all like wicker and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then he just tries to shove them out the door. And then as he's doing that, Eric remembers that, oh no, he has class tomorrow night.
Yeah, so he can't pick her up. Kenan, like casually, like offers, like, oh yeah, we'll pick her up.
Eric's like, okay, great. Not thinking anything bad could happen. I do want to say one last thing. In his apartment, he has like boxers on a hanger. Like just hanging above the fireplace.
Oh, maybe he doesn't have like a dryer
Above the mantle. But it's just one pair of boxers. So great job, whoever did that set.
That feels very real.
It does. It does feel real.
So next we have the airport terminal.
Yeah, great set.
I love it. It's probably really realistic of what they looked like back then.
Probably, yeah.
We both grew up in a post 9/11 world, so we don't know airports like they did back then.
That's true. That's a great point.
They could probably walk to the plane if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, why not? They're looking for a Melissa, right? So Kel just starts screaming, Melissa, Melissa.
And Kenan points out, like, we don't know what she looks like.
Might be helpful. Anyways, there is this old lady in like this, I don't even know, 1960s like gown. I don't know. And she's like, well, my name is Melissa, which I find very unlikely.
You think she just like...
That's not an old... No, that's not an old woman name.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I just had to point that out.
She looks more like an Ethel Quagmire.
Yes. So Kel's like, oh, we found her, great. And so he like goes to get her luggage, and he's trying to pick it up, but it's really heavy. Meanwhile...
Kenan's got a sign, which is a piece of paper that he wrote Mel on one side and Issa on the other, and he keeps flipping back and forth.
Yeah, and he just wrote this sign in the background, if you're paying attention.
Yeah, he's like, Melissa, and a girl comes up and is like, hi, I'm Melissa. And he's like, oh, great, we were looking for you. As he's doing this, what does Kel do?
Kel's like, oh, well, what about this Melissa? Like, I thought this was Melissa. And then Kenan goes, that's not Melissa, that's just an old woman.
And the audience is kind of like, oh, like they're worried about
like,
it.
oh my god. And then Kel goes, you think he's gonna like defend his new friend, but he goes, how dare you, or something.
You imposter! Take your suitcase back. And he's lifting this like really heavy suitcase that he's struggling with, and he flings it over his head.
Somehow, yeah, he goes from not being able to lift it to lifting it straight over his head.
Yes.
And who is standing behind him, Adam?
Melissa. And when it hits her, you hear a very cartoony bonk sound.
And there's a cartoony flomp. Flomp is not a word either.
Is a bunch of cartoon birds that fly by?
Almost. She, of course, passes out.
She's KO'd.
Yeah, I do want to mention for 1 second, what is the established law in the Kenan and Kel universe about hitting somebody in the head, Adam?
One hit, they drop.
Okay, all right, good. Because that's pretty consistent. Unless Roger is hit by something not very sturdy or heavy.
I think it's every time you get hit with something, you get a little bit stronger. So that's why Roger, he doesn't like pass out anymore.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get you Kenan. You with the frying pan was just like a one-hit kill.
Right, that's what I'm thinking of.
Continuously.
Exactly. Somehow they managed to get unconscious Melissa back to Eric's apartment and lay her on the couch.
Yeah, Kel's getting a glass of water, and Kenan's like, throw the glass of water in her face. And he throws the glass of water in Kenan's face.
Yes. Kenan is, of course, upset.
Kel says, no, I thought you said throw it in your face. Which, like, grammatically, there's no way that can work.
Another Ed line.
Yeah, no, he goes to get another glass while Kenan is pontificating what to do.
And then the phone rings. He answers it.
It's Eric. And Kenan starts, like, lying about how easy it was to pick up Melissa. And he's like, oh, she's right here. She's in the bathroom. Don't worry about it.
She's awake.
Yeah. She's conscious and alive and happy.
I don't know why he didn't just say she's taking a nap.
That's a pretty good example, too.
Anyways, Kel throws a glass of water on her face at some point. She doesn't flinch.
Nothing's happening there. So he's like, I bet let's go to plan B. He pulls out a jar of peanut butter, as Kel does.
More like Plan PB.
Yes, and he jams it all over her face.
He just puts peanut butter on her face. Because nothing says, I'm going to wake up an unconscious person like rubbing peanut butter on their face.
Yeah, I thought of To Catch a Thief when they break into the Cram's house and just Kel is like, it's not the peanut butter, and he gets it everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good, just something that's very messy that's going to ruin a set.
Yeah, it's a good gag.
Right.
It's like, they can't do like Nickelodeon slime.
It's not,
So
not
they
invented
do
yet.
peanut butter.
Or is it?
It is. It's been around for a while.
Oh. How long has slime been around? Longer than I have?
Since before like other shows. I think it's You Can't Do That on Television was the first show that had it.
Wow, that's way before my time.
Kenan freaks out after hanging up the phone that Kel is putting peanut butter on her face.
He's trying to get to the bottom of why Kel would ever do this, and he's just trying to wake her up. Then Kel has an idea, so he takes his shoe off, puts it in her face, and she wakes up right away.
Pretty effective smelling salt, I gotta say.
Yeah, definitely. I don't.
For all Kel's cartoony powers, like that one actually works.
I don't know if that. I think that probably works to some extent. Like if somebody's sleeping and they smell something bad, I think that would probably work. The olfactory nerve, cranial nerve 1, is directly connected to the brain.
Maybe that's why Kel's smelling senses are so good, and he got job. He's able to identify donuts by just their scent. It's because his own scent is always there, and he has to develop senses beyond that.
I bet Kel smells bad. Yeah.
Well,
what if that's
he's drinking orange soda constantly?
What if that's like an underlying theme of Kenan and Kel? Like Kel smells very bad, and so every interaction that Kel ever has, like the other person has to put up with his odor.
He's already off-putting in many other ways.
Right. But like the only person that puts up with him all the time is Kenan, who maybe has
Kenan has a bad
sense of smell. He's smelling impaired.
That would actually make sense.
I like this theory. We haven't had a good theory in a while, so I'm glad to get it.
No, we haven't. Well, I hope in this next scene we can have a theory, because there's something very unexplained.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
But we got to move through this one first.
Melissa wakes up, and she is very confused with what's going on.
They try to explain. They're like, "Oh, we brought you to Eric's apartment. We're Eric's cousin." She goes, "Who's Eric?"
And they're like, "Uh-oh."
Kenan pulls Kel aside, and classic Shakespeare colloquy, and he goes, "I think she has amnesia."
And Kel's like, "Oh, what is that?"
Adam, what is amnesia?
When someone loses their memory.
Like in name a movie.
I started thinking of Christopher Nolan movies, which is a bad... Oh, Memento is like kind of like an amnesia type.
50 First Dates.
Ooh, yeah, that's another one for you.
There you go. Short-term memory, gone.
Would you say that it's a real thing that is made, for comedy purposes?
It is definitely overused in comedy, for comedy reasons, but it's definitely a real thing. Losing your short-term memory is a real thing. Same with long-term, but...
You've been hit on the head before. Have you ever suffered from amnesia?
No, I don't remember I don't remember things a lot very well, but there's many reasons for that. Yeah. Have you ever had amnesia, Adam? Mr. I remember everything?
No, I don't remember. No. I mean, like I've had a lot of drinks on a couple occasions, but even then, I seem to maintain my memories pretty well.
I don't think being, overly
blackouts.
Yeah, I don't think being blacked out will permanently destroy some memories. Although maybe.
Kel's plan is like, what if we hit her over the head again, and that way she'll get her memory back?
And Kenan's like, don't do that.
What happens next?
They start looking for something. What do they look for?
A picture of Eric.
Oh, they're like, yeah, let's get a picture of Eric, and then she'll remember. And so Kel is looking for a picture of Eric.
She gets knocked out again.
Yeah. Somebody
she gets knocked out
panics and then hits her over the head again. I'm kind of confused. She gets hit in the head a lot this episode. So she's leaned over this chest. Kel knocks her off the chest so he can look for a picture of Eric, and so she's still unconscious and has peanut butter everywhere now.
Kel opens up the chest, throws it all around, and while they're looking for a photo, she gets up and like runs out of the room. And Kel waves at her.
Waves goodbye.
And Kenan's like, all right, I found a picture. What? What are you doing?
Yes, she escaped. And then Kel goes, oh, she just left. And you didn't do anything? Oh, I waved goodbye.
To which Kenan replies, as he does in a good episode like this, "Why?"
A great build-up so far, I would say.
Did you get the twist at this point? Did you guess it ahead of
No.
time? No. Okay. So yeah, they did a good job delivering on it. Then
They did a great job delivering on it. I thought she actually had amnesia because I was in Kenan and Kel universe where wild things happen when people get hit on the head. Roger has had amnesia before, like when he fell out
Yes.
of his bedroom window.
Of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, she has amnesia. Okay.
To your point earlier, that's a good way of them playing with what you understand about this
I think
world.
so.
already.
Yeah. No, it's a great use of the universe and the laws of physics in this universe and how the mind is understood. We got to remember, like, if Kel drinks enough orange soda, his insides turn orange.
Yes.
That's the world we're operating in. So amnesia after getting hit on the head by a suitcase that was too heavy to lift up but easy enough to lift overhead, why not?
Makes perfect sense. So let's go over to the 346 pool hall.
Yeah, okay, so let's describe this scene, Adam.
This is a giant pool hall.
It's like a dive bar almost in the middle of the day. It's definitely a pool hall, but it gives off like dive bar vibes.
It's full of like 15 bikers. They're all wearing like different like leather outfits and it's like kind of wooden paneling, and it's you can smell the smoke off it too.
It looks like honestly, it looks like an old golf course. You know, like okay, so I don't know. I know you're not a golfer, but it looks like an old golf course, like 1970s kind of wallpaper and wood paneling, yeah, and some bricks.
So Melissa's there. Peanut butter's off her face, and she's talking to some of these like tough biker thugs.
Yeah, she's explaining what happened, and then these guys, they rub peanut butter all over my face, and yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's terrible. And the big leader of the pack is we learned his name later on, but he's got like just a leather vest on and all these tattoos up and down his arms.
Very bad tattoos, might I add.
He got like a greaser haircut.
Yep.
And he's like, "Don't worry, baby, you're with us now. I'll protect you."
Yeah. So honestly, like I think places like this do exist, but they're not very common. I would love to just go play pool.
Yeah, I don't know if they have all these pieces anymore. I've been to a dive bar where it's like real smoky before, and I've been to like, you know, where they play billiards.
Melissa goes to the bathroom. After that, Kenan and Kel enter. I don't know why they think she's here.
I think maybe as they're running around.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but they're like, here she is. Act casual. She must think she's some kind of biker girl. So, you know, let's not draw any attention to ourselves. Let's get used to pool.
Right. So, like, okay, let's play some pool so we fit in.
Kel, of course, misunderstands pool.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, let's play Marco Polo." Marco. He just starts yelling, "Marco!" And Kenan's trying to stop him. And then this guy comes over in a cut off flannel, and he goes, "I'm Marco."
Yeah, it's the same joke as doing things to Hemingway.
Right.
I'm Marco.
Yeah, I'm Brian.
What do you want? Kenan, like, you know, to calm him down, gives him $1, and he's like, you know, go buy yourself a soda or something.
He accepts.
Yeah, he's like, all right,
It was
okay.
that easy. He didn't really seem that threatening, although who knows? Biker gang. I just like the idea of having a pool hall with a biker gang in it in like the middle of the day.
It's pretty cool. That's what they do on like a Saturday.
Sure. Yeah. No, I like that. I don't know why Eric has class on this particular day.
Yeah, probably not a weekend then. As they're like, all right, let's be casual. Let's go grab some pool cues. What do they see as they go over to the pool cues is a man wearing a leather jacket, a green tiger shirt, and a purple bandana.
And spiked gelled hair. It's none other than our favorite convenience store owner and operator, Chris Potter.
Yeah, I busted up laughing when I saw this. I had to...
Oh my god, I think I yelled.
I paused and I just lost it.
Did you remember this?
I forgot about this, honestly.
I had no idea this was coming. It was just so random because they were at this point they were in here for at least a minute so far, or like maybe like around a minute, And you had no idea Chris was just like hanging out over here. But here he is, hanging out. And they're like, what are you doing here?
Talk about fodder for theories. We have, like, he's very reluctant about why he is hanging out here.
Yeah.
He's like, well, Mother likes to make extra money on the weekends playing pool. And Kenan's like, oh, she's here then? And he's like, yeah, no. What's with the third degree?
Well, what does he mean by that, third degree?
Like third degree burn. Like, you're really grilling me.
Oh.
Yeah, what's with the third degree?
That's such a weird saying. I've never heard that. What's with the third degree?
We don't often see Chris lose his cool like this. Like,
he is.
He's crazy defensive right now.
Something's happening. Yeah, and that
because then he hears a motorcycle, and he says, "She's outside with the motorcycle. Oh, that must be her. Gotta go. Bye."
Yeah, and then he leaves. What do you think is happening here, Adam?
I thought I knew everything about Chris theories, but this is new to me. I know he's lame, and he does, like, funk bus and stuff like that with his mom. Maybe his mom is... I know she's into, like, WrestleMania and cool things like that.
I don't know. I honestly feel like this is a Chris-only thing.
You think his mom's not here at all, and he does this for fun?
I think he does this, and his mom doesn't know.
Maybe Kenan Kel caught him, like, trying to be cool and, like, trying to pick up people.
I think he's trying to, like, hang out with the biker gang, but he doesn't have a bike, and he's not a part of the gang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just attempting to be a cool dude.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's learning, like, some cool habits from them.
Yeah, definitely cool habits he's picking up from these bikers.
He's like, I want to live this lifestyle.
Yeah, he's like, this is me.
And then Kenan's there. Yeah, because his mom is not there.
No, not at all. Greatest moment of the episode, maybe of Kenan and Kel.
It took, like, 52 episodes of warm-up to get us to, like, that joke.
Yeah, and it was so worth it. Like, that was a great payoff.
Yeah, it was. So they go, all right, let's play pool.
Yeah, and so they start playing pool. Kel has never played before.
Oh, really quick. Kel says, as soon as Chris leaves, he says, man, he is so cool.
He does say that. I couldn't agree more, Kel.
So Kel's stretching with a pool cue.
And then he's like, oh, I wonder how this is going to go. Meanwhile, in the background, there's these biker gang guys with sunglasses and bandanas and jean jackets and leather on and mustaches. And they seem like they are like they seem like they're trying to bet. Like this is like the gesture they're making,
yeah.
But it seems like they're kind of like betting on who's gonna win, like Kenan or Kel, because they're both don't look like they're good. And then Kel breaks, and it's like, I mean, he's just amazing.
Yes, Kel is a pool wizard, is what I wrote down here, and this was clearly the inspiration for the pool episode of Drake and Josh.
Absolutely.
Because they took this concept of someone being, like, exceptionally good at pool, and they took it, like, to the end, a full episode worth. Everyone's having a blast as this music's playing, and Kel is a montage of him doing these amazing pool shots.
Yeah, do you think it's all him?
No.
No.
I feel like there's, like, I don't know.
Because there's definitely some shots where he's clearly making the shot.
I think either you see him make the shot and it not go in, or you see the shot go in and it was someone else. I think it's very good editing between, like, Kel and an expert that looks like him.
All right, that's fair enough. At one point, he, like, puts his legs on the table and he's, like, dancing. I just cringe. Not supposed to do that.
It's a poor way to treat the table.
That's right. One of them was definitely him.
I'm sure he probably did that for like an hour or so, and they got like the best shots they could. The important thing is that in the canon of the show, Kel did this.
Right.
Kel went to a pool hall and picked up it for the first time and was amazing at it.
Yeah, I love that.
But he's not amazing at everything, because it ends with him crashing into the rack of pool cues.
Right. And then knocking them all over. As that's happening, Melissa walks out and says, "Hey, it's them." And then her crew kind of circles around Kenan and Kel.
It's so cool seeing like 15 people, like all the extras in the scene are into it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They're doing a fantastic job. Everybody who's in this scene is doing excellent.
And it's cool because there's others like biker chicks. There's like a really big guy.
Right. There's like like if Santa Claus was a biker.
Yeah, they have all types are represented here.
Yep. And then, okay, what's this? Describe this face-off between Kenan and Kel and then the leader.
The leader is kind of he's very unruly, and he's starting like to growl at them too. He does that several times this episode, and Kenan's all like, they're trying to explain. It's like, no, she's my cousin's girlfriend. And the leader's all like, well, maybe she was, but she's my girlfriend now.
Right.
And then Kel's like, who's want to be your girlfriend? You're big, ugly, and tattooed.
And then they start chasing each other around the pool table. I like how the pool table's like the centerpiece and they're all running around it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's some real Benny Hill stuff.
Right.
Melissa shouts, "Pound him, Mad Dog!"
Yeah, his name is Mad Dog. And Adam, actually, that's what the growling is. He's mad dogging. That's a real thing.
Oh, that is a thing.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. You're like, it's like when you do this. Ready? It's called mad dogging.
Another thing that Kenan Kel invented.
No, I don't know about it. Okay, yes, definitely.
Wow,
Definitely.
52 episodes has changed.
So this episode is definitely this definitely came before I heard of mad dogging. So that must be.
Yeah, I feel like that's something Mr. T did in his prime.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, some it's like an intimidation tactic. I don't know. I feel like that's been in our species for a very long time, and then we just described it.
So they chase him around the pool table, then Kenan's like trying to slow him down, and he says, classic Kenan like
Oh,
line.
this is so good.
Mr. Dog, Sir Mad. Look, there's a really easy way to explain all this. Look, it's the Great Wall of China. And he points out like towards where the audience is.
And then they get like there's almost like a spotlight on everybody, and they're just staring.
And 20 bikers just staring.
They're staring like through the audience. They're like, what?
Everyone's there staring at, including Kel.
Yeah, and Kenan runs away. Kel's still standing there.
Yeah, so Kenan comes back and he's like, Kel.
And he's like, Kenan's like pouting on his way back. He's like, darn it, like that almost worked.
Yeah, Kel, there's no great. Kel, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm looking at the Great Wall of China. There's no Great Wall of China. And everyone like starts chasing him again.
Exactly. So they chase him and they go outside of the place. All the extras chase behind, and it's I mean, fantastic scene. I love that scene. I love the set. I love the characters, the extras, the pool, like just the Chris. I mean, that might be one of the best Kenan and Kel scenes.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, like it's just wonderful. Well executed.
Yeah, no, I've seen the pool sequence a number of times.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it happens on like Family Matters too.
Yeah,
all kinds of specials. Fresh Prince had a pool episode.
It's a good episode. It's a good thing to include because anybody could be good at pool, and it's a fun game.
It's really good to fake it for Hollywood too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We cut back to the pool hall like a little while later.
Commercial break.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we lost him. And then Melissa's mad, but then Mad Dog suggests, like casually, hey, why don't we go get some tattoos?
Yeah, and Melissa goes, sure, okay. Meanwhile, I'm thinking that this is Eric's girlfriend. And so I'm like, wow, she's super amnesic.
That'd be a pretty bad situation, right? That's the last thing you want someone with amnesia to do, go get a tattoo.
But it's also, I mean, you don't want something permanent when you're not yourself.
Exactly. As they leave in front, you see that Kenan and Kel are hiding in the bushes.
Again, another scene. Another set, I mean. Yeah. Really quick. It's only like 10 seconds, but they made the whole set.
Kel has a really quick line here that's really funny, which is that, why don't we tell Eric she doesn't love him no more?
And Kenan, they think, they're like, oh my gosh, we have to stop this. We don't want her to get a tattoo. So they head over to the tattoo parlor. Yet another set.
In another shop in Chicago.
Right.
Did you catch the name of it?
No.
It's called The Ink Stain.
The
lady has a weird accent.
She's got like a southern accent. Adam, something tells me that although this can't be true because the writer of this episode was Savage Steve or just Steve.
No, just Steve Holland.
I feel like Steve has some experience in like the Rust Belt or like the South. You know what I'm saying? Like this gives me like Southern vibes. This a lot of like what's going on in this episode.
I can feel that.
Yeah, because this lady behind the counter, she's got like a Southern drawl.
She sounds like she would not be out of place in the episode where they were like in Montana.
Right.
They go in and she's all like, yeah, I'll be right with you. I'm with two other people right now.
I do have to say, she has 3 tattoos, and they're clearly all stick-on tattoos, like the ones. So she's got like 3 tattoos. They're all stick-ons, and one's like a lobster and one's a rose on her chest. It's like almost at her throat. So when the lobster's like on her arm, so it's just funny. Like, like usually people who are are tattoo artists have tattoos like everywhere. She's got like 3.
They're good tattoos as well.
No, I like the random lobster.
That's probably what I would get if I got
Just
a tattoo.
one lobster. Yeah.
Cal goes looking for Melissa in the back, but unfortunately he opens up the wrong door, and it's Mad Dog there with like his vest is off, and he's very angry.
I would say more curtain than door, but yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like he's like, give me my tattoo right now.
Yeah, and so Cal can't leave. He's forced to go in there and give him a tattoo, which that's for me, that's the crazy thing that Kenan and Kel are in the situation of where Kel is giving a tattoo this episode.
I mean, I love the creativity. Like, that's a fantastic thing to make Kel do.
And do you know what tattoo Mad Dog wants?
An angry butterfly.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to see that tattoo.
Meanwhile, Kel's knocking over bottles and spilling ink, and he treats the tattoo gun like it's the egg beater.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, it's like he's making the concoction for the common cold or whatever it is. And then he like accidentally makes a line going like diagonally across his back, and then we cut to Kenan.
Kenan gets the attention of the tattoo patron, the lady that runs the shop. And he says, "Oh, your mama's on the phone. It sounds like she was bit by a stray alligator, and she's foaming at the mouth. She's got rabies."
And while he's saying this, he looks aside, like it's almost like when he's lying, he's like doesn't know what's gonna come out. It's like a Mad Lib, right? It's like a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
He's just like trying to kind of like filling it in as he goes, and he's like, "She's attacked by a stray alligator," and he like looks aside, like, "Well, that wasn't a very good one."
But she says, "Fiddlesticks, not again."
Right. Kenan's like, okay.
Yeah. Kenan turns the corner and sees Melissa there, and she starts freaking out. Okay, because he's been stalking her from her perspective.
This is a terrifying episode from Melissa's perspective.
Oh yeah, very, very scary. So she's trying to run away, and he knocks her out with something.
Right. Oh, I think he's holding like a book, like a dictionary. Maybe
I want to say it's
the tattoo artist.
It's like the tattoo book, right?
Oh, maybe. I was gonna say I think the tattoo artist might need a dictionary because they don't want to spell things wrong. That's a good one, right? That's a good thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does.
Absolutely.
It really
I mean,
does.
come on. I feel like every good tattoo artist has a dictionary.
So meanwhile, in the other booth, like Kel's like doing like really into his work, and Mad Dog's like, finish up, and he's like, I'll be done when I'm done.
Kel's like, I'm taking my time.
Kenan's like tapping him on the shoulder, and he's like, "No, Kenan, I'm trying to work here." Yeah, he's like, "We got her," and then they both grab onto her body and take her out of the room.
Well, they try, and then Mad Dog is like, "Hey!" And so he gets up mid-tattoo, or maybe finished tattoo. We'll see about that.
Finished tattoo.
Right, finished tattoo. And then he tries to chase him down. He grabs Kel.
This is very violent. This is real theater thug, like, serious moment because Mad Dog's really Mad Dogging them across this tattoo
Yeah,
parlor.
no, I mean, it's like, so the actor really grabs Kel. Kel's like, legs are up, he's trying to kick, and like, his shirt's coming up, and then Kenan gets something.
Yeah, like a fire extinguisher or something like that. And knocks
hits
him
Mad
out
Dog in the back of the head. Of course, knocks him out. Maybe he has amnesia. And then they kind of like celebrate a little bit, take Melissa, and then skedaddle.
Yeah, at some point, Kel like jumps on top of the booth and like screeches like a monkey. I wrote that down.
I don't know how I don't know how they fit all this in. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is a hard episode to review because there's so much like detail and just the little mannerisms of Kenan and Kel. Like, if you're really watching them this episode,
it's crazy.
There's so much that happens.
When they realize that Melissa's knocked out, they give each other a high five.
Right.
Then Mad Dog chases them around, and when he's knocked out, they give each other a double high five.
Right. Kel has like the plastic gloves on for like,
Yeah, they grab Melissa and they go hop, 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 hop.
Oh, yeah, they grab him,
around.
they put him over like their shoulder, they go hop, 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 hop. Like, well, who does that? Is that like a military thing?
And they go right back to another set that we haven't seen in a very long time, the outside of Kenan's house.
Right. When was the last time we saw this?
I want to say Attack of the Bugmen.
Yes. I feel like that was.
That's. I remember Kel on the rocking chair, like with the orange soda.
Right. So I'm glad that they still have this set. So, anyways, they kind of like sit Melissa down in a chair. They come up with a plan. I like how they don't come up with a plan on the walk over, however long the walk was.
Well, I think they got there hoping that Kenan's parents wouldn't be there, but they are.
Right. So Kenan's parents are there watching a nice TV episode, and then the plan now is that Kenan's going to go in there, distract them, and Kel's going to bring Melissa upstairs.
Yep, that's the plan. And
How could it go wrong?
Kenan's distraction is amazing.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, parents, I have to tell you something. Like, okay, son, what is it?
I want to take you into the kitchen and tell you something.
Which is smart on Kenan's part.
And they're like, why don't you tell us it right now?
Yeah, they're like, are you feeling all right? Because he's like, what's going on, son? He's like, oh, nothing. Like, okay. And then Kenan comes up with another lie, which is just my favorite lie I think he's ever told.
I've got a new dance I've been working on.
And again, he looks aside like, where did that come from?
Yeah, and they're like, dance? And he's like, yeah, dance is apparently what I said.
he's surprised. He is so surprised.
It goes a little something like this. And then he starts dancing.
He's like, I don't even know how to describe this. Moving his arms, his
back and forth,
shoulders are like,
I will say, we've been talking about how this episode couldn't take place nowadays. I think this happens more nowadays than ever before. Like the TikTok kids.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Check out my dance, mom.
You're so right. They show me like I'm like I'm their teacher, right? They're just like I literally like I'll be walking down the hallway. There's just kids like dancing. I'm like, you're supposed to be walking to class. You're supposed to be studying. They just like put their phone down, start recording, and they're just dancing. I'm like, what the heck?
And then Kel like drags her up the stairs.
Right, he's dragging Melissa up the stairs.
Okay, great. I'm glad. I'm happy we had this talk, this time together.
Roger is just like, okay. And then Kenan walks over to the stairs, and then Melissa's body flies down the stairs.
They had to get like a stunt woman or something for this Melissa.
That's definitely like a dummy. That's definitely like a stunt dummy.
She's not a dummy in every scene, though.
No,
there's
but
some like
right
that's,
there,
it's
absolutely,
really her.
Absolutely, that one was a dummy. She flails down.
Yeah, which causes Kenan to go, oh wait, I forgot this move. Oh yeah, raise the roof and
whoa.
And he's like incorporating waving at Kel and like pushing him away into the dance.
And then Kel like picks up Melissa's legs because he's carrying her from like grabbing. He has her ankles and is dragging her like her head is just bobbing on the ground. And then Kel starts dancing along with Kenan, and then Kenan's like, "Get out of here."
Another really good scene.
Oh my gosh, great scene, and it was so quick.
Yeah, it was so quick. And we go over to Kenan's room for another good scene.
Another good scene. Kel is hauling Melissa around this room. He's trying to get her to like stand up straight. So he eventually like hoists her up by he's got like her armpits. He hoists her up, puts her up against the door that Kenan has to come through. And he's like, oh, good, you're finally standing up straight. Kenan opens the door. She flies like on the floor again.
Yeah, she's always. It looks like she's doing cartwheels, but she's knocked out. It's got a really good weight to whatever she does.
Right.
So they're like, okay, let's put her in my bed. Let's say that she like is sleeping when he comes to pick her up. Kel says like, what about her memory? It's like, Kenan says, do I have to think of everything?
Right. So they put her in Kenan's bed and they're like, oh, we should do her makeup so she looks all good.
Because her face is all swollen and puffy because she's been hit so many times.
And they just get like powder and just throw it on her face.
For some reason, Kenan has makeup in his room, and they just like start like really just like layering it on, put it on thick.
But it happens in the same moment. I thought it was a different scene, but they just literally just throw this makeup on her right then and there.
Yeah, they just really get her looking up.
Kel wants to do the lipstick, so he puts.
Of course.
Yeah. Kel puts like Joker lips on her, like like this. And then
for someone who really wanted to do lipstick, and did a bad job.
So bad. They start talking about hair. What does Kel suggest, Adam? Do you have it?
Yeah, I think she would look good with a spiral perm with some auburn highlights to really bring out the green in her eyes.
And then Kenan goes, I was really thinking about a bob. And then he like runs away.
Just like, what are we doing?
He runs away to go get something.
A brush. Yeah.
I feel as though this was filmed at the end of the day. I felt like they were very tired at this scene because they just did so much already.
This has been such a busy episode. It feels like an hour special.
It's been a busy afternoon. It's all on the same day.
Yeah. Kel is like, oh, here we go. Has some hairspray. Grabs it, sprays it on her hair, puts his hand kind of near her temples. But then he can't move his hands because he realizes that wasn't hairspray, that was spray glue.
It's spray glue, and then he's trying to fix her hair up. She looks terrible. And
very bad.
Kel's hands get stuck on her hair. He looks over. It says spray glue. He freaks out, starts shaking her head back and forth.
That's why I think this has to be a stunt woman.
You're right. Yeah.
That seems very unsafe for a regular actress.
Yes, you're very correct.
She's also not credited. She might be in this also starring, but she wasn't the first list guy on the list.
Kenan comes back,
and he starts freaking out. I think they both grab different sides of her.
Yeah, he grabs her arm. One arm. Kel's trying to rip his hands off. Mrs. Rockmore yells up that Eric's here.
High stress situation.
Kel's hands rip off of her head,
and he has a lock of hair on each of his palms.
And then she is bald on those spots.
Yeah, she's got 2 bald spots now. So real bad situation. They go down to see Eric. Oh, sorry, guys. He's got some thunder. The thunder's coming as Eric's here.
Here comes the thunder. Yeah, I just got some.
So they go downstairs. Eric is there, but who is Eric with?
A woman. A woman named Melissa. A woman named Melissa who happens to be Eric's girlfriend. Woman named Melissa who happens to be Eric's girlfriend who was not picked up at the airport by Kenan and Kel.
And he's very upset with them for this. And as they're trying to piece together what's going on, you hear from the stairway, "Where am I?" And you see a bedraggled, poorly make-upped, 2 bald-patched Melissa, the biker girl, not Eric's girlfriend, coming down the stairs.
And then Kel goes, "Oh, I know what happened."
Wait a minute, we picked up the wrong girl from the airport.
And he starts cracking up.
Yeah, and that's the way the episode ends.
Kel's cracking up. Everybody's just looking at him oh my gosh.
I'm sorry that you missed this true ending.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I saw it.
Oh, wow.
It was on. It was one of the few that I've seen on Paramount Plus.
I have to say this now. I really hope the last episode you see the full ending, because the full ending is the best ending of the whole show.
I'm hoping so too.
To tease it. But anyway, okay, why don't you tell me what happens in this end?
So Kenan walks out in his Bumblebee outfit. Kel's wearing his fisherman outfit.
Kenan's yellow leather jacket is insane.
I love it.
He looks like Wolverine, but he looks like what Wolverine in the movies was wearing from Wolverine in the comic books.
Yes, precisely. It's a great jacket. I don't really remember what happens. I just remember that it was. I know one thing that happened.
They're like, well, I hope we never see that biker guy again. Boy, oh boy, was he scary. He's standing right behind me, isn't he? And yes, Mad Dog has come out on stage right behind them. There.
And then he basically lifts up his shirt and he says, "Who was it who gave me this tattoo?
Which one of you drew this bottle of orange soda?"
Right. That's
he's got a full back tattoo of an orange soda bottle.
You ever see the back tattoo, or not, just back art? Like that was a trend for a little bit. People would paint their friends' backs. Do you see that? Okay, that, so yeah. This was if that was done with a magic marker.
It does not look like a real tattoo.
And it was a cartoon orange soda bottle. It's great though. It's great.
Oh yeah, that'd make a good T-shirt, right? A T-shirt, but it's on the back.
That would make a terrible T-shirt. What would be on the front? A biker, an open leather vest.
The front's blank. The back is the tattoo.
You know those shirts that are a T-shirt but it has a leather vest on it?
Oh yeah, right.
Those are stupid.
It's like a tuxedo shirt except it's a vest.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Kel's like, I drew it, and Mad Dog says, "I love it. You do?" And he's like, I do.
And now they're boys.
They're besties. Kenan tells Kel to grab a flotation device, a bottle of hot sauce, and a guy named Mad Dog, and meet me at the volcano. Come on, Scrubby.
Doesn't he say, where am I going to find a guy named Mad Dog?
Yes, he does. And then he starts Mad Dog, and he goes, oh. Here it goes.
Down.
Aaron, what did you think of this wonderful episode of Kenan and Kel?
Fantastic. fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
I'm trying to find what like the problem with it is. Where what's it missing? And I think, and honestly, let me tell you, when we sat down for this one, I thought this was going to be like going over the list of season 4 episodes. I'm like, this is the worst one, right?
It has to be.
But that's crazy.
Yeah, no, this episode was so good.
It's really, it's like, it reminds me of Mo Sweater Blues a lot, but Kenan and Kel like fully realized.
Yeah, I have to say it's way better than Mo Sweater Blues. It's better than House Sitter. Like it ties together all the great elements of chaotic Kenan and Kel, and the stakes are perfect. Like, okay, picking up, they introduced Eric last episode, picking up Eric's girlfriend from the airport. Simple premise.
And they go and mess it up.
Yeah, and biker gang and the Chris joke, and Kel's good at pool, the tattoo parlor. Kel makes a tattoo. Like Kenan and Kel are just like best friends this episode, and they're hut. They drag Melissa up. Kenan just makes these great jokes and he dances. I mean, it's outstanding.
Yeah, I feel like if this was season 2, you would get the pool hall or the tattoo parlor. Like, you wouldn't get both of them.
Right. You won't have the budget.
And then you also have the airport, and you also have the Kenan's home house stuff, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Whose fault do you think this episode was, Kenan's or Kel's?
Both? Because
both of them.
Because Kenan picked out Melissa and is like, no, this is Melissa. And it wasn't. So that's where the error comes in.
But before we could find out more, Kel bonked her.
Right.
And Kel bonked her because he mistook an old lady for her.
I don't know.
He let her go on the outside. I think this might be a 50-50 one. I think you're on the money with that.
I think it's 50-50. It just... And that's why it's a good episode.
I was about to say, yeah, it wasn't one or the other. Right. It was really a group effort.
Right, and I think like Kenan is just like witty and smart and charming, and Kel is just goofy and stupid and also exceptional at the same time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think the characters are just perfect this episode.
Let's talk ratings then. Girl Watchers on IMDb has a 7.4 out of 10. That's ranked 40 out of 62 for the Kenan and Kel episodes. That's like low medium. That's not great.
No.
That ain't high on the list. I think we're both about to place this episode very high. How many bottles of orange soda out of 10 would you give this episode, Aaron?
You know, I'm trying to think back to the perfect scores. There haven't been many. I don't know if this is a perfect score, but you don't see an episode this good every now and then, so I'm going to give it a 10. 10 bottles of orange soda.
Dang. I'm struggling not to agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what this episode do wrong?
I was thinking 9.5, and then we just went through it, and like I couldn't find something wrong with it.
I really can't. Chris was amazing.
I mean, even though it wasn't a lot of Chris, it wasn't a lot of Rigby's, it wasn't a lot of Roger and Cheryl. We could have had some other characters, but I mean, Kenan and Kel were just outstanding.
If you want good Kenan and Kel, you watch an episode like this. I think this is an exemplary episode. Yeah. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, too.
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. This episode was great.
We could walk that one back in the future, but I don't want to. It's very I mean,
we'll see how the rest of season 4 stacks up. For all those people who are hating on season 4, they don't know Kenan and Kel. Because it's good. So it's first 3 episodes. Pretty good so far.
Get this, the next episode is like bottom 5 on IMDb, but I also remember it being really good. So let's talk next time. We'll be talking season 3, episode 4.
Car trouble. Kenan attempts to get his driver's license against his parents' wishes. However, his science project is due on the same day.
I hope you enjoyed this wonderful episode of Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. We sure had a way too good of a time.
You gotta watch this episode. It's worth the watch. Whether you have to pay for it, whatever. Just go watch this episode. Because it all the little nuanced, mannerisms of Kenan and Kel are well worth it.
I think if you've been a fan of Kenan and Kel for as long as we've been doing this podcast, you're in it, and you're the target audience.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So we hope you enjoy as much as we have. Any final thoughts, Adam?
The plugs are at the end of the episode. Have a good day.
And on that note, everybody, we'll see you next week. Here it goes. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. If you want to stay in touch, send us an email at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com, or you can send us a voice message at anchor.fm/KenanKelPodcast. Our social media accounts are all at Kenan Kel Podcast. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks, everybody.